Cosimo here, welcome to the channel. So in this video, we're going to learn how to manifest everything you want in 2026. I used the same principle to manifest everything I wanted in 2025, and I'm gonna share in depth with you, step by step, how I did it. I used the same principle to partner with Tony Robbins and Ingraziosi through mastermind.com. I helped over 80,000 people rewiring their brain, so you can do the same, and let's dive into this because I'm so excited. The 2026 manifestation blueprint, step by step. How to manifest your dream life in 2026. What is manifestation? Manifestation is the intersection of four things: attention, what you notice; belief, what you think is possible for you; behavior, what you do daily; exposure, what opportunities you repeatedly place yourself near. People think manifestation is mystical. In practice, it's your nervous system learning what's safe, your brain filtering reality, your habits shaping outcomes, your environment reinforcing patterns. So manifesting your dream life is really installing a new identity plus building systems that make your future inevitable. And let me tell you something, manifesting from Latin means manifesting. So money means hands, fasting is like having a feast. So in other words, the word itself means that with your hands, you can create the life that you really want. You want to party every moment. You want to celebrate every moment. So why thinking positive doesn't work? Positive thinking fails because it doesn't change your environment, your skills, your tolerance to discomfort, your self-image, your actions. Your life is basically a receipt of what you do on repeat. I always say to people that how you behave creates your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. I want to give an example. Let's say you see someone that's always angry. What you're going to say about them? They are an angry person. So their personality you see being angry. And so you always find this person in a drama, in fighting, and doing that stuff. So it's creating his personal reality. But someone that, for example, it's always sweet with you, very kind, what you're going to say? Oh, this person is so kind. And if you ask them how their life is, they're for sure giving and receiving this kindness, this sweet. And so they're creating their own personal reality by being and behaving that way. So outcomes are downstream of behavior. For example, income is a downstream of skills you build, plus offers you make, plus visibility, plus negotiations. In this channel, we make things that are woo-woo very tangible. And I'm using math to do that. So health is downstream of what you eat, how you move, how you sleep. Relationships are downstream of boundaries, communication, plus consistency. If the inputs stay the same, the outputs stay the same. So that's not motivation talk, it's math. So I wanted to put this in math because I think it's clear when I give the formula that if you miss something in the formula, you cannot get the same result. So your brain changes through evidence, not wishes. Your subconscious doesn't care about what you want. It updates from what you do consistently because repeated actions equal this is normal. If you visualize being confident but never do the uncomfortable actions, your subconscious learns we are not that person. Your nervous system stays in avoidance mode. You keep the same identity. You keep the same results. So manifestation without action is just emotional self-soothing. A lot of people use manifestation like I'm aligning, I'm trusting the universe, it will come when it means to. No. We have to be practical here. But when you use manifestation this way, what you're really doing is avoiding the thing that would create the result, which is like posting the content, making the call, changing the diet, ending the toxic relationship they have, building the skill, taking the risk. So the manifestation becomes the story to feel good without changing. And here's the point. In this channel, I had the fortune to meet people that they told me I'm very spiritual, and spiritual means for me that I just connect. Well, I tell you something, you are living. And life wants you to create. It doesn't want you just to be spiritual. If we are all up there, why are we living? Let's be up there, right? But if you are living, we have to create in your life. And life is made up of actions. So in 2026, vibes only manifestation is a cope. A cope is a mental strategy to reduce discomfort without solving the actual problem. In 2026, it's even more obvious because competition is higher, attention is harder, skills compound faster. AI increased the gap between executors and talkers. So if someone is manifesting but not executing, they are not in a spiritual practice. They are in a comfort practice. It's basically, I want the outcome, but I don't want the friction. But the friction is the price. If you really want to change your life this year, you have to change your energy. You have to raise your freaking energy. Once you do that, everything is going to change. So execution is the spiritual practice. This doesn't mean work hard. It means the real transformation happens if the inner battle you face during action. So basically, take actions and face this inner battle. What makes execution spiritual is the real way. When you execute, you confront fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, laziness, procrastination, the need for validation, your old identity. So every time you do the hard thing anyway, you're not just being productive, you're purifying your identity. You're training your nervous system. I can handle discomfort. I don't need certainty. I do what I say I do. I keep promises to myself. That's why execution changes you at the deepest level. I've been saying this so many times. Last year, a person came to me and said, Cosimo, you have to be lucky to be wealthy. We were talking about money. And I said, I thought about how I made millions before I turned 32. And I said, I wasn't lucky. I was putting actions. I was confronting my old self every day. I was creating a new behavior. But most of all, it doesn't take fortune or being lucky. It takes creativity. It takes skills. And if you invest in those, then you're going to create what you want. Stop being spiritual and like, oh, lucky is to be the universe giving this to me. Life doesn't want you to wait. Life wants you to move and take the things you want. And it gives you ideas. It gives you the guidance. It gives you the strength, the trust. It gives you the love to what you need to do. So, but you need to put the effort. You have to put the actions into it. When I was reading, I don't need certainty, well, that was one of my mantras. I don't need certainty. I need the new version of myself. I don't know what that is, but it's not what I'm certain I am right now. That's why execution changes you at the deepest level. The real manifestation ritual. It's not candles, it's not journals, it's this. You do the uncomfortable action. You build proof. Your identity updates. Your standard rises. Your identity changes. That's why execution is the practice. A simple example. Someone says, I'm manifesting my dream body. There is a vibes only version, which basically does affirmation, visualization, alignment, but still inconsistent eating and no training. According to you, is it going to change? Of course not. Execution version, they train 4 times per week, they track food, they track sleep, and they stay consistent. After 8 weeks, according to you, who changed? Of course, the executor. The executor has visible change plus confidence. The vibes only person has hope and also frustration. Not because one is more spiritual, but because one created evidence. For me, being spiritual means being in a spiritual practice. Spiritual, bring it down, do it. Here are 3 levels of manifestation that changed my life last year. And I do this repeatedly every year. And every year is faster and faster and faster. And I can tell you, your life will never be the same. I manifested everything I wanted last year, the year after. And it's incredible. It seems like magic, but it's really practice. So there are 3 levels of manifestation. Level 1, awareness manifestation. You basically start noticing opportunities you used to miss. Example, you randomly see a business opportunity, but it's just you train yourself to see different things, which is good, but it's not enough. Level 2 is behavioral manifestation. You change what you do daily and the world starts responding. Level 3, identity manifestation. Your identity changes, so your behavior becomes automatic. This is where your dream life becomes the default. Most people live at level 1, watching videos, journaling. Your goal is to get to level 3. To understand what it means, identity manifestation, think about this. Let's say you were not used to train every day, so you had the idea to start the gym and go consistently to the gym. And what happens is you start going in the beginning, and in those 21 days, 28 days you're going, at some point there is a moment in which you wake up in the morning and you start thinking, I don't want to go, but you go anyways. Now what happens? After 1 year, you don't realize you're going to the gym consistently, your body is changing, and you are happier and in a good fit ever before. If for some reason you get sick, you get injured, or simply you can't go to the gym for 2 weeks, do you think like you can resist that? Actually don't. You feel like I should do something with my body. I'm feeling I'm not moving enough. I'm feeling I have to do that. And so that's now part of your identity. It's not anymore a discipline and willpower to go to the gym, but it becomes your identity. You really want to move your body because now you are a athlete. You are someone that moves and get fit, that trains, that cares about their body. The reality filter model. Why your life looks like it does. Your brain has a filter. It deletes most information. Your filter is shaped by identity. I'm not that kind of person. Emotional memory, past wins, losses, environment, people, media, location, self-talk, what you reinforce, and standards, what you accept. Change the filter, you will live in a new reality because you notice something and you act differently because of what you noticed. The 2026 difference, why this year is not going to be like 2025. In 2026, you have to realize that attention is more competitive, skills compound faster because they use AI leverage, mediocre effort is punished harder, and speed matters more than perfect plans. Meaning you need a blueprint that builds clarity fast, discipline without motivation, identity that can hold the goal, leverage so you are not working linearly. So here is the manifestation formula. This formula, it's something you can follow every time and it works every time. So vision, clear target, identity, who you must become, environment, what makes it easy, actions, daily proof, feedback, correction loops, the dream life becomes equal, dream life becomes inevitable. So here are the exercises I do every year. First exercise that you can do immediately. Exercise A. What's my current manifestation? So you answer honestly. You can sit down now and start answering this, and you can pause the video and then go to the next question. Answer honestly, what life have my habits created? What results do my standards produce? What identity is this consistent with? So basically, in the first exercise, you're creating the image of yourself with the habits this person has, the standards this person has, and the identity that's consistent with. An example, in this 2026 life, I created a body dream. What are the habits? I don't snack. I am on a track of my meals, track of my calories. I sleep well, I recover well. Standards. An example of exercise would be like, I want to build a dream body this year. Awesome. So what is the habits that I created? Already thinking about the end. I go to the gym 4 times per week. I have a nutritionist, whatever. Then results and standards. My standards is I eat this calorie. I track my food. I do this. So basically I sleep well. So basically these are standards that you wouldn't go back. I don't snack. What an entity is consistent with? The identity is I am an athlete. I take care of my body. Whatever you want to say, just say it, what identity it is. And usually starts with I am. Exercise B, the truth audit. List 5 things you say you want and 5 actions that prove the opposite. Then decide what has to go. An example, I did my exercise for this year about my body. I want to get to 10 to 12% body fat. I want consistent energy all day. I want a strong athletic body. I want to feel consistent in photos. I want a routine I can keep for years. 5 actions that prove the opposite. I snack randomly at night even when I'm not hungry. I skip workouts when the day gets busy instead of shortening them. I don't track anything, so I hope I am in calorie deficit. So anyways, these are things that you're writing that prove the opposite of what you wrote down. Okay? Now, you decide what have to go. And what have to go is night snacking while scrolling and all or nothing workouts. If I can't do 6 minutes, I do 0. So now I decide I can do a 30 minutes workout and that is consistent with me. Another example I can give you would be like on business. This is an exercise I did with one of my clients. He said, I want to grow my business. I want to grow my business. Opposite actions. I don't follow up with leads with 24 hours. I spend hours tweaking branding instead of selling. I avoid posting because I want it perfect. I start new projects before finishing current ones. I don't block time for outreach. What has to go? Perfectionism and busy work. So basically I told him to replace it with 30 minutes daily outreach. Replacement was, so how do we replace this? I said, do 30 minutes daily outreach plus 1 piece of content daily. Messy is allowed. It's done better than perfect. So exercise C. Non-negotiable shift. Pick one identity rule. I don't miss workouts. I don't delay hard conversation. I do not consume before I produce. That becomes your anchor. Here's my anchor. I always say this to my clients. To stop myself, I say, now I am the voice. So I'm listening to myself. And I realize what I'm not doing. I'm not going to work out today because I have a very busy, intense day of recording of content. Then I say, I do not miss my workout. Done. I do it. That's it. So I maybe schedule a day before to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and doing it instead of going at 11 a.m. And that's it. But you stay consistent with non-negotiable identity. Okay? Now, there are a few failure modes people fall into that will fail you this year if you're not aware of. They want a new life while keeping the old identity. They confuse inspiration with progress. They don't measure anything. They change goals weekly. They don't build leverage and they let emotions run the plan. Guys, your life is a business. In business, you have numbers. And numbers, you have to be apathetic about numbers. This is the reality. A number, let's change it with a new behavior, new strategy, new system, new structure. And that's what you need to do. But if you fall into one of those things I told you, let emotions run the plan or you don't measure anything, how you're going to change? How do you know what to improve? So stop being the old self, faking that everything is going great when it's not because you don't measure it. You don't know if it is going great. And if you want to change your life, simply you are saying that you want to be better than last year. So let's do it. Here in this 4 laws of manifestation, we're really... When I told you that I manifested everything I wanted last year, when I told you that I applied the same principles that help 80,000 people in the world rewire their brain, here is what I told them. And you are the fortune to start it this year. So boom, your life is going to explode of results. And I can't wait. You're going to comment at the end of this year on this video saying, this video was insane. I saved it. I'm using it. And every year I repeat this ritual to change my life, to bring it to the next level. So law number 1, identity beats desire. Why identity wins? Desire is a feeling, identity is a system. When you're tired, stressed, bored, desire disappears, identity stays. So if you say, I don't skip workouts, it's your identity. Even if you're tired, you don't want to wake up at that morning, you're going to do it because you don't skip workouts. So your identity wins all the time than desires. Your dream life requires behavior on days you don't feel like it. Identity creates automatic behavior. If you identify as a builder, you build by default. An athlete, you train by default. A leader, you act despite fear. How identity is formed? Identity is formed by repeated actions, emotional association, social reinforcement, self-talk, repetition. How to install an identity? 3-step method. Declare it in 1 sentence. I want to have my dream body. I don't miss workouts. I do it even when I don't feel like it. Prove it daily with small actions. So you just do it. Protect it by removing incompatible behaviors. And in the exercise, you're going to understand everything about it. So, exercises, write your future identity sentence in I am the type of person who trains, learns, work, whatever, no matter what. Proof list. At the end of the day, you can write this list, you can think about it, but before you go to bed, just think about 5 things, actions that prove it. Protection list. 5 things you must stop tolerating. Let's say that today you tolerated eating chocolate when it was not planned in your diet. You stop tolerating that behavior. You start creating a new standard of I decide what I want to put in my mouth. Law number 2, environment overrides willpower. Unfortunately, it's so true because willpower is a trap. Willpower is a limited resource. When you don't have willpower, you surrender to the environment. Environment instead is constant. You live into it. So if your environment cues distractions, you're going to get distracted and you lose your attention eventually. So there are 5 environments you must control: physical, digital, social, time, and information. Practical environments upgrades examples. For example, phone outside of the bedroom, social apps deleted by Monday to Friday, single workspace with no entertainment, meetings only after deep work, builder content only, no doom scroll. Exercise. So you're gonna do a friction audit. List 10 things that make bad habits easy. So remove 5 today. And then easy audit will be list 10 things that make good habits hard. Fix 3 today. An example one of my clients did was this. He said, in the friction audit, I'm going to list 10 things that makes me bad habit and I'm going to remove 5. The 10 things were: phone is always within reach on the desk. Notifications are always on. Social apps are on the home screen. You logged in, no friction to open. Autoplay is on YouTube Reels. You scroll when you feel a tiny bit bored. You don't have a start work ritual. You open your laptop and your browser is already on tempting tabs. So you use it, anyways, I don't want to go ahead so much. You don't have a rule when entertainment is allowed. Anyways, let's keep the others. And it says I'm going to remove 5 today. So he's going to delete the 2 biggest distractions app for him were TikTok and Instagram. Then move all entertainment apps to the folder on the last screen called later. Then turn on all notification off except calls, text from key people. Set the phone on grayscale. It makes it less addictive. During work, put the phone in another room or in a drawer on silent. So this is what he did. Easy audit. What he wrote down, it was something like not set. So he was working on his body. No set workout time. Clothes, shoes aren't ready. You don't know what workout to do. Decision fatigue. You aim for 60 minutes, so if you can't do 60, you do 0. These are things that make good habits hard. And so what he said is, to fix it 3 today, he said, pre-pack workout clothes plus shoes tonight. 0 thinking tomorrow. Create a minimum workout rule. 12 minutes counts, push-ups plus squats plus walking. Write to exercise plan for tomorrow, so there is no choice. Example, 3 rounds, squats, push-ups, and 8 minutes walk. It's already January 7th, and this changed his life already. Boom. So now, thought 3. Action is proof of belief. Why action builds belief faster than affirmation. Affirmations without action creates internal conflict. Action creates evidence. Confidence is not a mindset, it's a memory of repeated proof. The belief ladder. Tiny actions, tiny wins, identity reinforcement, bigger action, bigger win. So this is the ladder. You take small actions, you understand the win, you see the win that action took. So you see the effect. The cause is the action. So you take a tiny action that causes a tiny win. You see that, and so you reinforce your identity that is a good action to take. Then you go to bigger actions, so you're going to see bigger win. And this creates part of your identity that now you are a an athlete, for example. So I think you got this, but to give an example, today I'm not going to lift 100 pounds. I'm going to lift like 50 pounds or 45 or 35, whatever it is. But you lifted 0 yesterday, so that's a small win, but it's a good win. Now, the more you do it, the more you can lift more, you can become muscle, you see your body changing, and that's a bigger win. You can take now bigger actions, and so that creates reinforcement in your identity. The minimal viable proof principle. You don't need big proof, you need consistent proof. Example, 10 minutes gym daily beats 2 hours once a week. Exercise. Pick one proof habit that takes less than 15 minutes. Do it for 21 days without negotiation. Speed creates reality. Why speed matters in manifestation? Speed reduces overthinking, fear accumulation, identity drift. To give an example, if you're driving a car at 300 miles per hour, you have no time to look at the phone or be distracted, or so you have to think, you have to watch what you're doing and drive and be focused. So speed increases feedback, momentum, and confidence. This is the 48-hour rule. If you get an idea and don't act within 48 hours, you lose the energy. So the exercise will be make a speed list of tasks you avoid. Do the smallest version today. Number 3, design your dream life. Clarity is a targeting system. If you don't define the target, your brain won't filter for it. If you don't know where to shoot, you're going to shoot anywhere without getting the point, without getting what you want to get. So this is why most people manifest nothing. They never define exactly where to shoot, so what they want. Define your dream life by outcomes plus standards. Your dream life is, here you're going to understand what the standards are, because it's important, the difference between outcomes and standards. Your dream life is outcomes, what you achieve, and standards, what you tolerate. Standards are the real manifestation engine. Example, standards upgrades. I don't tolerate messy finances. I don't tolerate low energy mornings. I don't tolerate inconsistent outputs. And here is the 5-dimension blueprint, deep version. For each dimension, define outcome, habits, standards, constraints, and metrics. Example, health, metrics, weight, body fat, steps, sleep, lifts. Let's say you want to work on money. Money metrics, revenue, profit, net worth, cash buffer, money standards, spending rules, investing rules, skill building rules. Work metrics, hours, output, leverage, team size. Work standards, no busy work, weekly shipping, deep work blocks. Relationships metrics, quality time, conflict resolution, network growth. Relationship standards, boundaries, honesty, high quality people only. And then lifestyle metrics, location, travel frequency, daily rhythm, life standards, calm morning, freedom blocks, minimal chaos. I really believe if you do exactly what I did in this document, you're gonna change your life. And if you comment rewire, I'm gonna send you the questions you need to do, the exercise you need to do, just in one page, so you can have that page for every year to really get to the next standard of your life, next level of your life. The question you need to ask yourself is, do I really want to bring 2025 in 2026? Or is it time to break the pattern? I'm with you in doing this. See you in the next video.